One evening, returning home earlier than usual, Luca discovered something that would change his life forever. He was a quiet man with a serene life marked by work, affection, and friends. 5 years earlier, he had married Julia, a woman he had met at a business dinner. It seemed like fate had brought them together. She was intelligent, charming, and shared his same ideals. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our stories. Soon after their wedding, their happiness was completed with the birth of their son, a child who had brightened their lives. Little Matteo was the center of their world. Every day with Matteo was an adventure, and Luca and Julia made an effort to create a loving environment for him. They read bedtime stories together and spent weekends exploring the city, a close and happy family. Nothing seemed to threaten their happiness. But the arrival of the pandemic turned everything upside down. Luca lost his job, a stable position that guaranteed economic security. Julia, on the other hand, continued to work from home, maintaining her role without difficulty. This new reality led Luca to accept temporary jobs, anything that could help the family. Deliveries, maintenance jobs, nothing was too menial for him. But the economic pressure began to erode their serenity. The arguments between him and Julia became more and more frequent, and small misunderstandings turned into bitter arguments. Luca felt crushed by the weight of responsibilities. One day, during one of their heated arguments, Julia slapped him in front of Matteo. That gesture marked a breaking point for him. Luca would never have imagined that shortly afterward he would return home and discover Julia with another man. Luca entered the kitchen and found them there, in an intimate moment. Anger and sadness invaded him, but instead of exploding, he took the car keys and went to pick up Matteo from school. When he returned, that man, Andrea, was still there, sitting on the sidewalk. Andrea told him that he didn't know that Julia was married and that he had been seeing her for 3 months. Luca, without adding anything else, sent him away. He knew that the priority now was his son and protecting their future. He decided to call a lawyer to begin divorce proceedings. The lawyer reassured him. Julia, being still employed and he unemployed, would have to pay maintenance. Luca, however, was not thinking about money, but about finding stability for Matteo. After several attempts, he found a job in a warehouse. It wasn't his dream job, but it offered security. Meanwhile, Julia tried to reconcile with him, but Luca was determined. The betrayal had destroyed their trust, and he didn't want to go back. While she continued to work and care for Matteo, she began seeing a therapist to deal with her grief and emotions. His brother Marco's support was fundamental. Every week he invited him to dinner, and Luca began to feel less alone. Even at work, he bonded with his colleagues, finding unexpected comfort in them. Despite everything, the wounds were still open, and Julia's words reopened old scars. One night, as he was putting Matteo to bed, the boy looked up at him and asked, "Dad, when is Mommy coming back?" Those words struck a chord with Luca, but Luca said that his mom was at a friend's house. Seeing the confusion in his son's eyes was heartbreaking, but he knew he had to be strong. As time went by, Matteo seemed more at peace, perhaps thanks to the stability Luca was trying to create for him. She attended her son's school events, encouraged him in his activities, and made an effort to be present. The therapist suggested that Luca rediscover an old passion, so Luca started drawing again. Painting, which he had abandoned years before, became an outlet, a way to express his emotions and find peace. In the meantime, the divorce proceeded without any particular obstacles and was finally made official. With the agreement reached, Matteo would spend weekdays with Luca and weekends with Giulia. It was essential that the child maintain a good relationship with both parents, despite everything. Luca's life was slowly starting to get back on track. With Marco's help, Luca moved to a smaller apartment close to his job. The change was good for both of them. It was on one of these evenings during an event organized by some friends that he met Sarah, a kind and understanding woman, also a single parent. Luca and Sarah immediately hit it off. They shared similar experiences and understood each other. They started dating, building a relationship based on trust and respect. Sarah and her son Filippo brought a new light into Luca's life. They spent weekends together, exploring parks and cooking at home. Meanwhile, Luca's art began to gain attention. He participated in a local exhibition, and some of his paintings were sold. This success gave him the confidence to consider art as a possible career. Over time, his art career began to take off. He received commissions and participated in more prestigious exhibitions. His passion gradually became a more and more serious activity. One day, during a weekend at the seaside, Luca asked Sarah to marry him. She accepted, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. But shortly after, an unexpected event shook their world again. Giulia was involved in a serious car accident. Her injuries required a long period of rehabilitation, and Luca found himself having to manage everything on his own. Between work, hospital visits, and taking care of Matteo, Luca was in a difficult situation to manage. At the time, the warehouse where he worked was undergoing a reorganization, and he was offered a managerial role that guaranteed greater financial stability. Matteo demonstrated extraordinary strength, maintaining a bond with his mother during her recovery. Meanwhile, Luca's artistic career continued to grow. A prestigious art gallery invited him to organize a solo exhibition, a milestone that marked the culmination of years of work. Reflecting on all he had been through, Luca realized how much the hardships had strengthened him. The betrayal, the pain, and the challenges had paved the way for growth and healing. Now, with Sarah and Matteo by his side, he looked to the future with optimism. The past had been painful, but Luca knew that with his new family he could face whatever life threw at him. With the love and support of Sarah and Matteo, hope was once again a constant in their lives. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next time.